Okay, go for it, Angela. Thank you for
Okay.
being here, Ashley and Toby. Uh, Angela's going to do our Deskwork Stressbusters, and then if you have questions, we'll stop at the end and do some questions. She has some exercises to do while we go along, kind of fun. So just go for it, Angela.
Okay. Let me get my share screen on. So here we go. You guys can see me okay and hear me?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So this presentation is Stressbusters. It's easy ways to de-stress quickly. I'm Angela. Yeah. So in this presentation, we're going to be going over 6 different ways to de-stress. First, we're going to talk about ergonomics, which is how to be happy and healthy at your desk. Then we're going to go over some accessible yoga poses and stretches. After that, I have some tips for how you can use nature and connect with nature to de-stress. Then we have some breathing and mindfulness exercises. And finally, I have some tips for you guys on how you can use technology to facilitate mindfulness and relaxation. So the basics of ergonomics is you should position yourself for success. So that means your feet should be flat on the floor, your knees should be bent at 90 degrees, your hips should be also bent at 90 degrees, and your elbows should be at 90 degrees. The screen should always be eye level and at least arm's length away. Oftentimes I think people sit too closely to their screen or they hunch over, and that can cause back pain and neck pain and all sorts of problems you don't want. It's also important to make sure you pay attention to your environment, like the lighting, the temperature, the noise. You should have good light. It should be a comfortable temperature. Minimal noise is best, and limited distractions. Preferably no distractions, but I know that's not always possible. It's also important to give your eyes, mind, and body a break. You should be taking at least a 10-minute break every hour. So stretch, go outside, pat your dog, whatever you want to do. But it's important to make sure that you're getting those breaks in because we're really just not productive without them. Another thing you can try is the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is when you walk really hard for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. And then you walk intensely for 25 minutes and you take a 5-minute break. I use this technique all the time. It really helps me stay focused and on task, especially when I have a lot of work to do. And it helps minimize your stress as well. It's just something I found. It's also important to watch how you're looking. The top of your monitor should be at least just below eye level. 0 to 30 degrees is ideal. I think that's something that people don't realize, but that is important, especially to prevent back pain, neck pain, eye strain, things like that. More physical needs are related to mental stress. As I already said, taking a break is very important. You should rest your eyes and get away from the screen. So when you take a break, try not to go on your phone or watch TV or go on another computer. You should just get away from technology. It's also helpful to get your body moving, especially if you've been sitting for a long period of time. Exercise will decrease your stress as well. Yoga is another good way to lower your stress. So we're going to do a quick little yoga pose right now. So this is called the seated cow pose. You should sit on your chair with your spine long, and both feet on the floor. Place your hands on your knees and the tops of your flat thighs. Either or works. On inhale, you should arch your spine and roll back your shoulders, bringing your shoulder blades onto your back like that. On exhale, round your spine and drop your chin to your chest, letting your shoulder and head come forward. So then move back. So when you breathe in, you go back. And when you breathe out, you go forward. So we're going to do that twice right now. 3 times, sorry. So let's breathe in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. Good job. A different pose you can also try is the chair raised hands pose. So on your inhalation, you should raise your arms towards the ceiling and maintain good upper body posture with your shoulders relaxed and your rib cage sitting over your hips. You should anchor your bones to your seat and reach up from there. On your exhalation, you should come forward and bend your hands over your knees. Let your hands rest on the floor if they can reach it. If they don't worry about it. Let your hand hang heavy. And then on inhalation, you raise your arms up again and repeat the motion. So up and down. And up and down. Let's do that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. All right, good job. Another way you can de-stress is by connecting with nature. It's a very good way to improve your mental health, and it probably doesn't take nearly as long as you're thinking it does. One simple and great method is to go outside, take off your shoes, and put your feet in the grass. It's a very powerful way to reconnect with nature and to decrease your stress. At school, you can also use a Zen garden. It's next to advising. Most people I talk to don't really know that it's there, so I kind of just wanted to give it a shout out. It's really cool, and I would totally recommend that you check it out. If you can't actually get to nature, you can sit next to an open window. The sounds and smells and fresh air will all do wonders for your mental health. You can also put in some headphones and use a nature sounds app. I like Mindfulness. That works really well as well. So we can't do this activity here, but on your own, I would strongly recommend that you take a walk with no phone and no distractions. Just take a walk and appreciate the nature around you, and hopefully you'll feel less stressed when you're done. Breathing exercises is another way to lower your stress. Slow breathing changes heart rate functions and respiratory behavior, and it's mentally controlled in the brain, so it's highly tied to stress reduction. To relax, breathe in for 2 counts, pause, breathe out for 4 counts, pause, and repeat. To energize, breathe in for 3 counts, pause, breathe out for 1 count, pause, and repeat. You can actually use an app on your phone. It's called Pause, and it will help you regulate your breathing if you're not sure about the counts and the pauses and things like that, or if you forget. So on 3, I'd like to do a little activity. We'll do 5 rounds of relaxation breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 2 counts, pause, breathe out for 4 counts, pause, and repeat. So 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. In, 1, 2, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job. Mindfulness. So one way you can use mindfulness to de-stress is to use your senses. So your sense of smell, you can use essential oils on your skin or an air diffuser, or simply use your favorite lotion or scented hand sanitizer. For sight, you can doodle or even use a coloring book or a full-on art project like a vision board if you want to be fancy. For touch, you can do a fidget spinner. Any sort of squishy toy like a stress ball or silly putty is good too. For taste, you can try different types of gum, mint, or hard candy. For sound, you can listen to nature sounds or your favorite music. So I'd like to do an activity here too, if you don't mind. I would like for everybody to go and grab their favorite lotion or hand sanitizer, or just wash your hands and smell it when you get stressed. If you are, smell adverse, then obviously don't do this. But for everybody else, I think it's a really good way to lower your stress. So if you could go get that.
I had mine right here, Angela.
Oh, how fancy.
Others do too. Look at Megan has got hers. Ashley's got hers. Heidi is, in fact, smell averse, but she might have gone to get them.
Everybody came prepared.
Yeah, and accidentally.
Wow, isn't that nice? Since I can't see you, if somebody would let me know when everybody's done, that would be great.
I think we've all done it. Everyone had their hand cream at the ready.
Wow. Awesome. So 2 quick tips for how you can use technology to de-stress. One is to control your use of social media and the news. I think we all tend to obsessively scroll on social media or through news websites and look for updates like constantly. But the reality is that lots of what we see there is very, very stressful, and there's oftentimes not much we can really do about any of it. So sometimes unplugging from that is a great way to lower your stress. It's especially helpful if you're already stressed. Going on social media or the news is probably not a good idea. The blue light filter is actually a feature on your phone. I use it all the time. It's on most computers as well. And it helps you reduce the physical strain of using technology by filtering out blue light. So it will help you lower your stress. It will help you sleep better, things like that. It's a very simple way to do some self-care, especially since you just have to hit the on button and it's just on all the time. You never even have to think about it again. There are also some apps you can download on your phone. Mindfulness, Mindfulness 2 and Headspace are all nature and relaxation sounds for meditation and music. Pause, we already mentioned this one. That's the breathing app that helps you focus and helps you with mindfulness and meditation as well. Mindly and Mood Notes are both apps that help you organize your thoughts and journal. And the really cool thing about this is that they use cognitive behavioral therapy techniques. So that's like psych approved, you know, it's fancy. I think Mood Notes actually has, if you've ever seen those graphic organizers where they're like the bubbles, and you like start with a thought and it leads to another thought and bubble organizers, that one's Mood Notes. UBAR is an app that actually helps you directly connect with a therapist. So that's obviously a very important one to remember. It's called UBAR. So takeaways, 3 key takeaways from this presentation. One is that there are many ways to de-stress, so find what works for you, because not all these will work for everybody, and they probably all won't work for you. And there might be other ways to de-stress that aren't in this presentation that will help you. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. Just mess around with it and see what you like to do and what works for you. Second is to build into your day ways to connect to nature and to your body. And thirdly, keep it simple and keep it short, because it only takes a few minutes to clear your mind. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Angela, a great job. Yeah, really nice job. And I love this presentation, and I love how so quickly you can get so many nice little hints, right? And I think maybe the most important thing is the advice to be intentional about it. Like, even set a timer and make sure you stop, like your very first slide, like stop every hour and do at least a few minutes, you know? And a lot of times we don't do that. Like, I'll just sit at the computer for, I don't know, hours on end before I even think, hey, am I hungry, you know, or whatever. And so we just need to be a little bit more aware. Also, I think the advice, like, it only takes a few minutes to do something, just to focus on yourself for a second. Like, that's very nice, very important. So thank you. And Angela, you did a great job.
Thank you.
So, and for those of you who didn't know, Angela has a co-presenter who, for whatever reason, wasn't here. So she just had to do the whole thing by herself, and that was awesome. Yay. So
good job, Angela.
Yes, very nice. Any questions or other advice from everybody? I mean, or any thoughts?
You're welcome.
I saw your. Uh-oh.
What was that? Somebody was talking?
I was talking. I saw one of your first performances several weeks ago, and I wanted to tell you that you've improved tremendously. You did an excellent job. Good speed. You tightened up the language a little bit. It was very effective.
Thank you. Thanks, Heidi.
I
Yeah.
didn't see your performance, but you did a great job today. And I just want to let everybody know that these were all really helpful tips. And one thing that I wanted to put out there is everybody should get enough sleep. That's one thing that I think is really important. Try to get your 8 hours. If you can't, don't do less than 5. You know, just everybody needs to get their rest.
That's
so
super
true.
important. Yeah, I think especially students need to hear that message, right? That it is okay to just go to sleep for a while and come back fresher. And some of us instructors too, maybe need to hear that message here and there. But yeah, for sure, I think that's important for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very good at that one.
Yeah, now we have a slide to add.
Well, it might be a meaningful slide to add. Yeah, because I know I'm terrible at that. Last night I slept almost 8 hours, and for me that means that I might be sick. I mean, I rarely get over 6.5. Like 6.5 is the goal in my Fitbit, and I almost never make it. So to get to 7:44 last night, I was like, yeah, something's wrong with me. You know, it's the easiest thing that we can ignore, right? And it is very time consuming. You know, so it's a big problem. It's a really good point. Ashley, you should do a talk on sleep, how to relax, how to fall asleep, like tips for how to make sure you get enough, you know, how to experiment to find your best schedule, you know, that kind of stuff. It would be actually very helpful, like Heidi's saying, not just for students. In fact, I want to circulate this presentation, Megan, after you get it. I mean, I don't know what you're doing with these, but maybe you're even having them edited and have a logo put at the front, you know, and putting them somewhere. But I would kind of like to circulate this out even to our board members, because they, you know, everyone needs it. Like everyone needs these tips, you know. So Ashley, you're on the hook. We'll watch for you to do a sleep talk.
I know all about sleep. I take naps. I didn't even turn in an assignment last night because I was like, you know what? I got to get my 8 hours. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it.
That's amazing and very uncommon. And it's a real healthy attitude. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm very, very glad that you found some of the tips to be helpful. Like super thrilled. So thanks. And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you for coming, Toby and Ashley. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome job, Angela.
Thank you.
Yes, once again, amazing job, Angela. Yes.
Megan, let me know if you put it anywhere or if
Absolutely.
it's ready to post anywhere. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm even trying right now maybe to get some of our videos like on our webpage, and
Mhm.
we have a few more in production. So yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
of course. All right. Anyone have any final thoughts, questions? Well, go relax.